right. Let's talk about the First Amendment. It's not just about free speech, it's also about free assembly, and it's something that this country is very much grounded in. And we've been talking a lot about the Second Amendment lately for obvious reasons with the Illinois ban on semi-automatic guns and magazines. But what about free speech? How is free assembly being impacted across the state? One group that seems to have been impacted by this is Awake Illinois. And we talk now with Shannon Adcock to give us a bit of the rundown of what she and her group has experienced recently up in Des Plaines. Shannon, thanks for taking time with us this morning. Tell us what happened.
Good morning, Greg. Thanks for having us on. So yes, we made national news after the anti-American, anti-child leftists got pretty cranky over our planned Coalition for Kids event. It was pretty epic, and the speakers and panelists that were on the slate for this event, extremely dynamic group. Jamie Mitchell, founder of Gays Against Groomers. We eventually added Jeanette Cooper, Parents for Ethical Care. She's a parent of a daughter who wanted to transition. And now she's raising awareness for parents and advocates on this issue of the social contagion happening with children. Former candidate for Lieutenant Governor Stephanie Trussell, Black advocate, mother of 5, pro-life advocate. Amazing dynamic panel. And yes, these Marxists threatened the theater to the point that the manager had to halt the contract.
So I know I don't want to necessarily level any aspersions on a business owner that is merely looking out for their own safety, the safety of their clientele, the safety of their staff. But when you heard about this, I mean, what were your initial reactions? What was your group's reaction that this venue you had planned to go to have this dynamic panel address some serious issues a lot of parents have major concerns with? Do you feel like your rights of free assembly and free speech are being violated here?
Oh, there's no question. And what's sad is that, Awake Illinois really burgeoned out of this recognition that people are very scared to advocate for their rights, for their families, for their communities. And so we built a really phenomenal platform for people to do just that. And even after 2 years of growing statewide to 30 chapters, there's still this assault on our First Amendment right to free speech. And yes, of course, the right to assembly. And I'm very confused by why people cannot understand that this country is founded on healthy discourse. You don't have to agree with everybody 100% of the time. That's okay. That's where progress happens, is when you have discourse and discussion. But the left, the people who came out to the City Council of Des Plaines and lied about us and spun tales and actually brought a lot of racism and hate and intolerance to their comments, these are people who don't want to discuss. They want to destroy you. That's what they want to do, Greg. They want to destroy discussion and destroy the First Amendment right to free speech. So yes, it's very much under attack. And, I wish that there was more courage on the part of people who are going to host peaceful assemblies. But what's amazing, can I just share with you, is that people came out in droves to offer their businesses, to offer their warehouses, to say, where can we house you so that the First Amendment right to free speech is indeed protected? So that's been pretty cool.
Well, on the flip side, though, Shannon, you've been criticized, or your group's been criticized for speaking out against drag events where adult men might dress in women's clothing, possibly being in front of children, and some events in the Chicagoland area. People point to rhetoric that's used by your organization and others that might support your organization, leading to venues shutting down their events. What's your response to that?
Right. Well, there are two drag events that we commented on. One was at Uprising Bakery in Lake of the Hills, and it was a bakery that was going to have a drag show performance with minors included. And we posted about it on Twitter and said, they're coming for your children. So that was actually an awareness message, right? This is happening, heads up. That was it. We had nothing else to do with any other activities that took place after that point. And then the one that we were actually really proud about, Greg, was the Downers Grove Public Library was going to host a drag queen bingo event for minors in 7th to 12th grade. That's publicly funded facility with taxpayer dollars. So that is where we really did a push as an organization and as a chapter of Downers Grove, Awake Downers Grove, and a large organization to say, no, that is not the place for a taxpayer-funded entity to host basically a sexualized event for minors. It gathered their information, their name, their number, and we had no idea where that information went. So there were a lot of issues with that. And fortunately, the event did not happen. So we're talking about actually empowering communities to know what is happening with this war on children. And that's exactly what it is. We have to tell it like it is. The sexualization of children is wrong. It is harmful. And we're creating that awareness.
We're talking with Shannon Adcock. She is the founder of Awake Illinois and the president. And you can find out more about their organization. And Shannon, a lot of people, of course, as you said, in the past 2 or 3 years that you've started this operation and grown it, it's now gotten to the point where we've got school board races coming up. And Awake Illinois very much involved in trying to get candidates in places. How's that going? And tell us about some of the things you're accomplishing.
Yeah, it's so amazing. So never before has there been a grassroots effort to support school board candidates that are for kids, for community, for academics. And this is where we really launched. 2 days after I lost my own school board race, I said, people need better help when they run for this particular office. So that's when Awake Illinois launched, 2 days after the 2021 school board elections. And now we've got dozens. We've got dozens of school board races that we're helping. We're empowering candidates to know what it takes to be a school board member, what the Open Meetings Act is about, what it's going to take to really connect with your community and to know what issues are affecting them. Is it their property taxes? Is it the curricula? Is it the busing contracts? How do you get the message from the community to know how to best represent the community? Because unfortunately, too many times, Greg, people get elected to this role and they bow to government mandates that, as it turns out, have been proven illegal. Thank you, Thomas DeVore, in the masking case. So, it's important that they know exactly how their community is expecting them to govern and be stewards of their tax dollars. And they're so ready to represent kids and community and put that ahead of the politics and the special interest in the teacher unions. So I think you're going to see a massive wave of really, really good grassroots community members run and win their seats for school board. It's the most important race that people are going to have this year.
Shannon Adcock, if people want more information about Awake Illinois, where can they find that?
awakeil.com.
It's pretty simple, awakeil.com. Greatly appreciate your time. We'll definitely talk again on these and other issues. Shannon Adcock, the CEO of Awake Illinois. What's your official title there? I have to think of President of Awake Illinois.
You can just call me Mom.
There you go. Right on. Hey, I appreciate it. We'll talk again soon, okay?
Thank you. All right, take care. Bye.
It is Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. Follow along with me each and every weekday morning from 6 to 9 here on WMAY, on Facebook, on YouTube. Just search out Bishop on Air, and we can connect.